Jai Hind children. Today we are going to study a new chapter, that is chapter 9, Soil. Soil is one of the most important natural resources. It forms the uppermost layer of the Earth's crust. It is a mixture of rocks, minerals, dead and decaying plants and animals. It supports the growth of plants by holding the root firmly and supplying water and nutrients. Soil is essential for agriculture and shelter for all. Soil is thus an inseparable part of our life. Let us do an activity. Collect some samples of soil from different places such as garden, roadside and construction site. Examine these samples under a magnifying glass. You will find that the garden soil contains grass, ants, etc. Roadside soil contains concrete, insects, etc. And soil from the construction site contains sand, concrete and cement. Next is about composition of soil. The components of soil are water 25%, air 25%, mineral particles 45%, organic matter like humus, roots and organisms 5%. Next about uses of soil.
Agriculture is the most important use of soil. Agriculture provides all of us with food to eat, fiber for our clothes, and material for making houses. Without soil, agriculture is not possible. Therefore, soil is a natural resource that is essential for life. Soil has several other uses. It's used in gardens and in construction and pottery. Soil is formed when rocks are broken down by the action of wind, water, and climate. This process is called weathering. That is why the characteristic features of any soil depend upon the rocks from which it has been formed and the kind of plants that grow in it.
Next is about soil profile.
Did you know that soil is made up of layers? If you examine the sides of a ditch that has recently been dug up, or the sides of a road on a hill, you will find that the soil forms layers of particles of different sizes. You will notice that each layer is different from the other in texture, color, and chemical composition. Even the thickness of each layer is not the same. A vertical section that shows different layers of soil is called a soil profile. Each layer is called a horizon. Look at this soil profile. You will observe that the topmost layer is dark in color and contains the remains of dead plants and animals. This rotting matter is called humus. This layer of soil is called topsoil or a horizon. It is made up of humus and minerals and makes the soil fertile. It is soft and porous and can retain more water than the other layers. Many tiny organisms, such as beetles, worms, and rodents, live in the topsoil. The roots of small plants do not go down very deep and can be found in the topsoil. When plastic bags are disposed of, they usually get embedded in the topsoil. Since plastic does not get decomposed naturally, these polythene bags pollute the soil and kill the organisms that live in it. stop using polythene bags. The layer below the topsoil is called B horizon or the middle layer. The middle layer is less porous than the topsoil and is therefore harder. It contains more minerals as compared to the topsoil, but lesser quantity of humus. You will see that the third layer in the soil profile is not as compact as the two layers above it. This layer is called the C horizon and has cracks running through it. It is mostly made up of rocks. The bottommost layer in the soil profile is called bedrock. This is far more solid in composition than the other layers and is very hard. It is difficult to dig up this layer even with a spade.
Now let us look what are the types of soil.
Small amount of sandy soil, loamy soil and clay soil on a sheet of white paper. Examine these under a magnifying glass. You will observe that sandy soil is made of sand particles which are relatively large in size. They cannot fit closely together and there is large space between them. This space is filled with air. If the amount of large and fine particles is about the same, then the soil is called loamy. In clayey soil, fine particles are relatively high in proportion and have very less space between them. Sandy soil is made of a greater proportion of big particles. There is large spaces between them. This space is filled with air. This soil is light, well aerated and dry. It is grey or brown in color and rich in organic matter. Clayey soil has small-sized particles and water can be trapped in the tiny gaps between them. Hence, clay soil is heavy and holds more water. It is used for making pots and toys. Loamy soil is a mixture of sand, soil and silt. It also contains humus and is therefore considered the best for the growth of plants. That is why it is found in gardens and farmlands. Collect samples of clay, loamy and sandy soil. Take a fistful of soil from one of the samples. Remove any pebbles, rocks or grass blades from it. Now add water to it drop by drop and knead the soil. Add just enough water so that a ball can be made from it, but at the same time it should not be sticky. Make a ball from this soil. Now try making a ring from this ball. Repeat this activity with other samples also. From this activity you will find that only clay soil is suitable for making toys and pots.